You know that little bit of magic you do every single day? You walk into a room, flick a switch, and bam, light. Instantly. It feels like magic, right? But it's not. It's physics. And today, we're going to pull back that curtain and see the incredible physics hiding in plain sight.
So, this is our big question. Why is it so darn fast? I mean, we're told electricity is electrons moving through a wire. But think about it. How could they possibly travel from the switch all the way through the walls to a light in the ceiling with zero delay?
To really get this, let's blow it up. Imagine a giant classroom. The power outlet is at the very front, the light bulb is way at the back, and we run the wires all the way around the edges of the room. A huge circuit. When we plug it in, the bulb still lights up instantly. There's no waiting for the electricity to make that long trip. So, what is going on here?
To solve this mystery, we have to zoom in. I mean, way in. The answer isn't really about speed. It's about what's already packed inside those copper wires before you even touch the switch. The clues are hiding right there, at the atomic level. Okay, let's meet our star player, the electron. These are the super tiny, negatively charged particles that orbit the nucleus of an atom. And simply put, when these little guys start moving, that's what we call electricity.
So, what's it actually like inside a metal wire? Well, scientists came up with a fantastic way to picture it. It's called the Sea of Electrons model, and it's going to completely change how you think about a simple wire.
All right, here's the big secret. In a metal, like copper, the atoms are jammed together so tightly that their outermost electrons aren't really attached to any one atom. They're kind of free-floating, delocalized. They form this incredible, mobile sea of electrons that just flows around. And this is the key takeaway. The wires are never empty. They're already jam-packed with electrons, everywhere, all the time.
This right here, this gets to the single biggest misconception about electricity. We all kind of picture the battery as a little factory, cranking out electrons and sending them on their way. But that's just not how it works. The charges, the electrons, are already in the circuit. The battery has a totally different job.
So, if the battery isn't making electrons, what on earth is it doing? Well, to get that, we need to know the three basic rules that control that whole sea of electrons. Let's break down the rules of the game. First up is voltage. Honestly, the best way to think about voltage is just pressure. It's the electrical push that gets the whole sea of electrons to start moving. It's all about a difference in potential between two spots. Let's make it even simpler. Picture a big water tank. The higher the water level, the more pressure you have at the hose coming out of the bottom, right? That pressure is your voltage. It's just stored potential waiting to go.
Next, we've got current. So, if voltage is the pressure, then current is the actual flow. It's a measure of how many electrons are flowing past any given point in the wire per second. You get more pressure, or voltage, and you're going to get more flow, or current. Back to our water tank. You open the valve, and water starts flowing out of the hose. The amount of water coming out each second, that's your current. It's the direct result of the voltage, or pressure, pushing it. And finally, there's resistance. Not everything flows smoothly. Resistance is exactly what it sounds like. It's anything that pushes back against the flow of current. The skinny little wire inside a light bulb, for instance, has a ton of resistance. It's so hard for electrons to get through that it heats up and starts to glow.
To finish our water analogy, resistance is just the narrowness of the hose. A big wide hose has low resistance. Water flows easily. But a skinny little hose, it resists the flow. You get way less water coming out, even with the exact same pressure.
So, let's put it all together. Voltage is the water pressure. Current is the water flow. And resistance is how narrow the hose is. This little analogy is a super intuitive way to get a feel for the forces at play in a circuit.
Okay, we've got the concepts down, but now let's go back to our big mystery, the instant light. The water tank analogy is helpful, but you know what? There's an even better one that's going to give us that final aha moment.
Picture this, a big circle of people, and you're all holding on to one long, continuous loop of rope. That rope, that's our sea of electrons, already filling the whole system. Now, one person is the battery. Their only job is to start pulling on the rope. And way across the circle, another person is the light bulb. They're just going to gently squeeze the rope, creating some friction. So, here's the question. The instant the battery person pulls, what happens? The entire loop of rope moves, all at once.
And there it is. That's the whole secret. The person squeezing the rope feels that friction immediately. The pull doesn't have to travel all the way around. The rope didn't come from the puller. It was already there.
The light is instant because the push from the switch creates a pressure wave that travels at nearly the speed of light, and it tells all the electrons in the wire to move at the exact same time.
Okay, we've had our aha moment. So now let's bring it all home and officially solve the mystery of the instant light bulb, putting every piece together.
Let's just map our rope analogy directly onto the real circuit to make it crystal clear. The rope itself, that's the sea of electrons. The person pulling, that's the battery providing the push, the voltage. The person gripping the rope, that's our light bulb, the resistance. And the movement of the whole rope, that's the electric current.
So now we can officially bust some huge electricity myths. Myth: the battery makes electrons. Fact: nope, it's an electron pump. It just provides the push. Myth: current gets used up by the light bulb. Fact: the flow of electrons, the current, is the same everywhere. It's the energy that gets transferred to the bulb. And the biggest myth of all, electricity has to travel from the switch to the light. Fact: the push travels through the entire system at once, getting all the electrons that are already there to move together.
And that's really the secret. It's not magic at all. It's just a perfectly coordinated push through a sea of electrons that were already there, in the wire, just waiting for the signal. One electron doesn't race from here to there. The whole sea just shuffles forward a tiny bit, all at once.
It's a pretty fundamental shift in how you see something you use literally every single day. It's not about speed, it's about a system that's always on, always ready, just waiting for a push. So, now that you know about the beautiful, coordinated dance happening inside your walls, what will you power up?